Just wanted to take a second and do something a little bit different today. I wanted to do a book review for you, a video book review. This is a book that some of you may have seen, a lot of you may have read it. It's a fantastic book. I continually go back to it, and so I wanted to bring it to you so I could tell you sort of why I come back to this book over and over again. It's one of those books that I hate the title of, but I like the content. Balancing Agility and Discipline makes the implicit assumption that agility does not have inherent in its discipline, and I believe that's 180 degrees wrong. I believe personally that agility requires significantly more discipline from your development team than does sequential, more top-down controlled projects, because an agile project requires your team to make decisions for themselves in the moment. It requires them to be self-organizing. It requires them to have a lot more ownership and responsibility. So I think that this title is a poor choice. But the book itself is really good. One of the things that I wanted to just grab the book because I read it like years ago. I read it like 3-4 years ago, something like that. And I keep going back to it. And so I wanted to share with you the things that I keep going back to. Couple of things. One of the things that I come back to frequently is this chart. Where is the chart? Here it is. Can you see that chart? Okay. If you can't see it, there's a star, a 5-pointed star here, and on top one it says personnel, and it talks about the level of your personnel. So are they rock star coders, people who are just, the guys who coded Google first or whatever? Those would be like right here in the middle. Those are the best. And out on the edge are, B players, C players out here versus your A players here, A plus players in here. Dynamism is this one. And dynamism is the requirements change. How frequently do your requirements change? And 50% requirements change in a month is in the middle, and less than 1% is out here at the end. Here's your culture. How much does your culture thrive on chaos? And in here is 90%, woo, we love chaos. And out here is 10%, no, this is very staid and true. Over here is size. How big is your project team? Is it, 3 people? Is way in the middle here. And way out here is 300. Here is criticality. Now that's an important one to think about that maybe you haven't thought about before. In the middle, so there's 5 little, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little tick marks along here. In the very middle part here is comfort. So is the result of this project merely a comfort issue? Discretionary funds, so money's involved. Essential funds, so a lot of money, or not a lot of money, but essential to the organization's health. So for a Fortune 500, it could be on the order of millions or billions of dollars, where for a small business, it could be on the order of hundreds or thousands of dollars. But to both of those companies, is it essential to the success of that company? Then the next one, so those were comfort, discretionary, and essential funds. The next one is a single life. So someone's life could be at stake, and many lives are at stake. And I'm not sure I would put those in equal distance apart as essential and discretionary funds myself. I think I would put them very close to each other and way out here, because if someone's life is at stake, I want to be real careful about that. But the way this chart works is if you make a mark at each one of these and draw a line between them, so you have all A players. Your organization changes the requirements all the time, and the culture loves changing, requirements. They love chaos. You only got 3 people on your team, and it's just a comfort project. Then you've got this tiny little circle in here. The smaller the circle, the more adaptive it is, the more of the agile life cycle works with it. The bigger it is, according to Barry Boehm and Richard Turner, according to them, the bigger it is, the more of a disciplined approach which I don't like the word, but they call it plan driven, which is that's an okay term because you're driven by the plan as opposed to driven by agility. So agile is in the middle that way, plan driven is that way. So big, it's plan driven, little, it's agile. So that's one of the things I really like about this book. Another thing is chapter 4. Boy, I went back and reread chapter 4 and really, I actually had one of my lead developers read it too because it was so much us that I wanted him to go into it and read a little bit about it. In chapter 4, it talks about 2 different projects and their chart, right? So here's their charts, and how those projects could be scaled up or scaled down. There's a great, in the back here, there's a great chart of, where is it, of different methodologies. Here it is. Comparing methods. So here's the Appendix A, and it goes through Scrum, ASD, Adaptive Software Development, Lean Development, Crystal, which is the family of methodologies developed by Alistair Coburn, Extreme Programming, DSDM, that's the popular Agile in Europe. If you're not familiar with that one, check it out. RUP, Team Software Process, Feature-Driven Development, CMMI, Capability Maturity Model for Software, so Software CMM, the Personal Software Process, and Clean Room, which is like, you know, if you're dealing with highly sensitive, highly structured situation in development. And they're ordered here by number and strength of their constraints. So it's a great little section in the book if you're going, dang, what kind of methodology should we use on this? Take a look at that. It'll be a great tool for you to you know, analyze what you're doing and figure out what's the best methodology for you. So I really like this book, and I think you all should read it. So it is the Balancing Agility and Discipline, a guide for the perplexed. I don't think it's the best in today's thinking about enterprise agile and how how we go about integrating agile and waterfall, but I don't think you can get to today's thinking without having gone through this book. So you need to read this book, read it now, and tell me what you think. Thanks a lot.